thought I would never do this.
I don't like to talk about what happened.
I have no one to talk to.
I guess you might want to hear the story first.
Afterwards, you'll know how come I feel this way.
I remember the absolute shocking moment.
When the world stops to move.
And everything is motionless.
And dead around you, you try to make your body hard as a stone.
Trying not to feel what happens.
But you feel it anyway.
And your emotions totally change.
Confusion, shock,
Pain,
sadness.
The sadness goes in so deep.
Never really leaves.
My name is Kendra.
Meg?
Caroline.
Sissy.
Jenny.
I was 16.
47.
23. 8.
14. It was late in January, and I convinced my mom to let me go out with my friend, her boyfriend, and another guy. We promised her we'd be at my friend's house the whole time, but after we called my mom from the house,
We took off to the other guy's house.
and once we got there, we started drinking and smoking weed.
And by 1 that morning,
I was gone.
My friend told me that this guy was into me.
That it was 18.
Me being 14, I thought that was so cool. My friend and her boyfriend went off into the other room,
to get some sleep.
leaving me and this
Unfamiliar guy.
alone. I was laying on his couch, so he gave me a pillow and a blanket.
I was on the verge of passing out.
When I felt him crawl under the covers with me, I was like,
Fine, whatever.
because he wasn't doing anything.
Then he started to kiss me.
So I kissed him back.
Not really thinking about it.
I couldn't really think about anything because my head was spinning. And then he started to unbutton my pants and stick his hands. And then he started to pull down my pants. I couldn't focus on anything. And then it hit me what he was trying to do. He spread my legs, and I told him I didn't want to. And he said it was fine, and he kept going.
I tried to push him away.
But I didn't have any strength. And then he pushed himself inside of me so hard I wanted to cry. It hurt so bad.
I tried telling him to
Stop!
stop.
I'm pushing him away.
That didn't work.
He had me pinned on the couch underneath him, and I was crying for him to stop the whole time, but he didn't. Afterwards, he got up and went to the bathroom. When he came back, he just looked at me and goes,
I'm sorry.
and then I passed out. When I woke up the next morning, he was staring at me like nothing had happened. So I went to the bathroom, and I was bleeding bad, and it hurt to pee. And he drove my friend and I home, and when I got out of the truck, he said to me,
You know you wanted it.
I later found out that he told my friend's boyfriend.
She started it and asked for it.
My grades started to fall, and I started cutting worse.
Finally, I lost it.
I tried killing myself. I was under suicide watch in a hospital for 5 days.
When I got out,
I vowed I was never going to do anything like that ever again. But sometimes I feel so...
raped by a strange-related night. I have little recollection of the actual rape, but it was confirmed during an exam at a local hospital. It has been 4 years, but bits and pieces of the experience still linger. Lately, I've been feeling very powerless, unable to motivate myself. I'm set to begin a new job in a month, and I am plagued by feelings of
Inadequacy.
Fear.
Guilt.
afterwards. I don't know if this has any connection to the rape, but I don't ever remember being this anxious. My husband has a hard time relating to me. Some days I'm just having one of those days, but he is the master of
Trying to solve things.
and
Looking on the bright side.
sometimes I just need him to listen.
really sure how to start. It's taken me a long time to convince myself to tell my story. I'm doing this because I believe I'm helping someone who's gone through things similar to me know it's not their fault, so... Here goes. I just recently graduated a small private Baptist college and... I'd rather not say. I was raped several years ago while at school. I was on a group blind date, which was called
Roommate Roulette!
Everyone was in the basement of my dorm.
Just talking.
And listening to music.
And I wasn't feeling well, so I decided to excuse myself from my date and went up to my room. After just a few minutes, I heard... I opened the door and it was my date.
Are you okay?
I said that I would be fine. It was weird because I didn't really know him. Anyway, he asked.
Can we sit down? I've got something I want to talk about.
Okay. We sat down. Then he told me...
You're really pretty.
Thanks.
You know what?
What?
God wants us to be together.
I said that he was nice and everything, but that I didn't really want a boyfriend and that the date was just for fun and to meet new people. This made him mad.
Slut!
I told him to leave. Then he kissed me and shoved his hands in between my legs. I tried to yell, but he kissed me so hard I couldn't. I tried to fight, but it happened so quick and my struggling didn't help.
Afterwards,
He told me.
I'll call you.
Then he got up and left. I just sat there on the couch. I couldn't even cry. I didn't know what to do. I was a virgin and hadn't really done anything more than kiss a guy before. I wanted to wait for my husband. I didn't really tell anybody about what happened. I knew of other girls who had been raped, and the school did nothing. They blamed the girls for leading the boys on. For the next few years, I'd see the guy all the time. I'm glad that I graduated, and now I'm free from him. But I'll never be free of that night.
When I was 8 years old, I was molested by my cousin. He was 8 years older than me. At first it was just a touch here or there, but eventually it became more. He was always welcome in my home, which basically meant he had full access to me.
Whenever I wanted.
He would make me touch him and play with him. I hated it. I wanted to throw up.
I would come into her room.
In the middle of the night, he molested me for years. When I was 12, he decided I needed to know how to have sex. He raped me that night and told me,
I can have you anytime I like.
I knew this was true. I thought I was going to die that night. It hurt so bad. He continued to rape me for 8 more years. Afterwards, I hated being in the same room as any man or male. When I look back, I think, how could I have been so stupid? I could have
Yelled.
My parents would have heard. Or one of my brothers. But I didn't. I will never forget that night. He not only took my virginity, but he took my pride and my will to live. I've never told anybody about that night until now. I want to tell my mom, but I don't know how.
Your story?
It's okay.
We'll listen.
I was... It's okay.
When?
Yesterday?
It gets easier.
There is hope.
And people do really love you.
Don't ever believe that what happened to you was your fault.
Because believe it or not,
It wasn't.
My life now
It's
is
positive because
I never let them kill my soul.
never.
Ever.
afterwards, you need to know you're not alone.
That there's always hope.
Even if it doesn't seem like it.
Someone is there.
And they will.
We will.
Listen.
Listen.